Hi, I'm Craig, and I help veterans go from feeling stuck and unseen after service to living with confidence, connection, and purpose so that they can thrive in civilian life and relationships. Hey, vets and families, welcome back to the channel for another video. Welcome to Royal Rock Counseling and Consulting, where we help you reclaim your purpose, strengthen your relationships, and live royally and live well. And thank you for stopping by to the right place at the right time to get what you need to live royally and to live well. We're going to continue to give you this great content. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps us get the word out to more veterans. It helps us do what we need to do. It helps us to serve where we need to serve, and it helps us to get the veterans the benefits that they deserve. So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video that we're about to bring to you. In this particular video, we're going to dive into the fully developed claim, or the FDC program. This is one of the fastest ways to get a VA decision if you meet the requirements. Now, keyword is if you meet the requirements. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what those requirements are, what the FDC is, how it works, the forms you need, and most importantly, whether filing an FDC is the right move for you. Because some people are like, well, file an FDC. Some people need more time to gather their evidence, so they may file this in the standard claims process. And if you're active duty and you have enough time, then you can file under what's called the benefits delivery at discharge program, which we'll do another video on and talk all about that program. But for now, we're going to talk about the FDC fully developed claim program. So if you're looking for a fast way to get VA benefits, stick around and let's get into the video. So the first thing we always do is we want to make sure we have the proper definition of what things are, right? So what is the FDC program? FDC it stands for fully developed claim. The purpose of the FDC is to reduce VA backlog and speed up claims. Did you guys know that there are probably, particularly with the PACT Act coming through, I'm going to say there's probably 300,000 to 400,000 claims over the last year or so that have come through the VA for review. That's a lot of claims, and a good portion of those claims will go to the Board of Veterans Appeals, because some of these claims are disputing denials. Some of these claims are going up to higher level review. So there are always claims coming into the VA all the time. And so there's a program that's available where you say, I've got all the evidence that I need. I'm not going to actually need the VA necessarily to assist me with a lot of stuff. I have evidence, I've got records, I've got treatment documents, all of those things, and I'm going to submit this claim fully developed, meaning it's got everything it needs. The purpose is to reduce VA backlog. Veterans submit all the evidence up front for faster processing. Why would anybody want to use FDC? One of the reasons why is the shorter wait times compared to standard claims. We talked about that before. Generally speaking, when you submit a standard claim, it takes a long time to get the information that you need, because the VA has to look for things, which they still have a duty to assist in the FDC program process. But because you are saying everything I submit is what it is, the VA doesn't have as much of that duty. And there are notices that are provided beforehand. There are clear forms and upfront checklists. Right? Like we said, streamlined process equals fewer VA requests for info. Again, they won't have to request for a lot of this information. They won't have to go to these different doctors, because you are saying, I've got all that information already. Who can file an FDC? Veterans can file FDCs, survivors can file FDCs, dependents can file FDCs, and they can file compensation, disability, pension, survivor benefits, and for burial benefits. Those are the types of claims that fall under the FDC program. Here's the forms that you must use when filing an FDC. And let me just also state, family, that, you know, I'm going to show you things in this video. I really do this. This is every video. But I'm going to show you things in this video that will shock you how easy it is to file an FDC claim. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get to that particular portion. But I'm trying to teach you new language so that when you hear somebody else say, man, the VA claims process is so daunting, it's so difficult, it's so long, it's so this, it's so that, right? Or when you hear some VA claim companies say, we know all the ins and outs, we'll be able to walk you through this and walk you through that, and we know stuff that you don't know about the VA and all. You can dispel a lot of that rhetoric by simply doing what I'm about to show you. And it's for free. So, okay. So here are the forms. You've got the VA Form 21 TAC 526EZ. That's the disability compensation form. You've got the VA Form 21P TAC 527EZ. That's the pension form. You've got the VA 21P TAC 534EZ. That's the survivor dependent indemnity compensation form. And you've got the VA Form 21P TAC 530EZ burial benefits form. Okay, those are the forms that are submitted when filing your claim. And again, I think most veterans should submit their claim online, but I'm old school. So I love the aspect of submitting your claim via fax, via mail, and corresponding back and forth with the VA. I think that gives it a much more finishing touch, particularly for veterans who like to have that tangible in-person not in person, because the VA is not always going to be able to give you a personalized touch. There's so many claims, but people like things that they can hold in their hand. Hey, this is my paperwork from the VA, and a lot of veterans are like, yeah, I got my paperwork, and that makes them feel really good, right? So even though it may not necessarily be the most expedient way or expeditious way, but it makes veterans feel good when they're able to hold something in their hand that they know they got from the VA. So these are the forms that are to be used in filing for a fully developed claim. How does the FDC work? You submit your claim plus all supporting evidence at once. And again, I'm giving you a little VA education first, and then I'm going to show you something that's going to make you go, oh man, like I could do this. Like I really could do this, right? So many veterans think that this is something that's so far removed from what they actually can do, but it is very possible, and I'll show you. It includes private medical records, identify federal treatment records, VA, Department of Defense, etc. Add any extra forms or special issues. Okay. Easy forms are different. Watch this. This is kind of what we've been talking about. Easy equals easy because the notice is built in. What notice? The VA's required 5103 notice upfront is built into that form. Okay, when you file a fully developed claim, you don't wait for VA to send you any kind of notice letters. You don't have to wait for that, right? Because you've already said, boom, submit a fully developed claim. I've got all my evidence. I've got all my treatment records. I've got all my documents. I've got medical documentation proving the nexus link, the connection to service. I've got all of that. And it could save you weeks or months in processing. Now, understand that a lot of this still is dependent upon the backlog that the VA has at the time. These things kind of happen seasonally. Sometimes, I think I told you in my last video, I've seen claims go through in a month. I've seen claims go through 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to over a year. It really does depend on the workload that is at the VA for those who are processing these claims. You have to understand that staff and personnel is not of the optimum at the VA. And so it takes time to go through these claims and do them correctly, because the last thing you want is somebody to rush through your claim and, number one, perhaps it's not done thoroughly, and number two, it delays you from actually getting the benefits you deserve. So you'd rather wait that little bit extra time, let the VSR and RVSRs do their work, and um, wait for the decision to come through the mail, right? I know a lot of us, we gotta check. Let's check the status. Let's check the status. Let's log in, check the status. Let's log in, check the status. Instead of spending your time doing that, do what we're about to mention next. Okay. FDC versus standard claim. An FDC is all evidence up front, faster decision. Standard claim, VA requests evidence equals a longer wait. Veterans can still use easy form but opt out of the FDC. So on the 526 easy form, which I'll show you in a moment, you can use that same form, but then you opt out of the fully developed claim process. Okay. All right. Here is the VA form 215-TAC 526 easy quick look. This is just a quick look. I'm going to do another video on the 526 easy more in depth, because it's a long form, and it's got a lot of useful information in there. But I want to show you something. Look at this chart right here. I pulled this chart directly from the actual form that is publicly available. That's where I got this from. It says the FDC program is an optional expedited process. It's the same thing I'm just saying in the video. You must submit all relevant private treatment records if they exist, identify any relevant treatment records available at a federal facility such as the VA Medical Center, identify the location, sufficient information to obtain your National Guard Reserve records. If your claim involves a disability that you had before entering service and that was made worse by service, please provide any information or evidence in your possession. You're going to provide everything in this expedited process. This was on the form. This is on the 526 easy form. And can I tell you something? That isn't the only thing that's on the form. When we get deeper into this series of videos, I am going to show you that on that 526 easy form, you have everything you need. Listen, if you didn't watch one of these videos, which I want you to watch, don't get me wrong, I do want you to watch. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to comment, I want you to do all of those things. But if you didn't watch this, if you just literally had the 526 easy form in your hand, and you just went down the form, it's like, what am I supposed to do here? It has so much information on it to help you file your claim. That's why I say on this channel, man, read everything. Read everything. Don't take these people's words for it when they say, oh, you don't know what you're reading. They pay me this amount of money so that you can get it. No. That's nonsense. Read the form. And you'll be shocked what you learn when you read the form. Probably 90 to 95% of what you need to know to file your claim is on the doggone form. Okay. Off soapbox. If you know of evidence not in your possession and want the VA to try to, that's the FDC program. This is a standard claims process program. If you know of evidence not in your possession, you want the VA to try to get it, then you use a standard claim process. Complete and sign the 21-TAC 4142. This is the authorization to disclose. I've done this a lot for clients because they were missing records and they were not confident enough to file a fully developed claim because they didn't have records in their possession that they felt could be used as evidence to support the claimed conditions. So they're like, no, Craig, we're going to use the standard claims process. We'll file an intent to file. We'll wait, make sure we have all of the evidence that we need. We'll, collect our buddy statements, personal lay evidence, those kinds of things. We're going to wait for the doctors to provide those private medical records that we believe are conducive to our claim, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm like, perfectly fine. But then I have some clients who submit FDC because they got everything, and they're like, Craig, I'm ready to go. Like, I've been collecting medical evidence for a while, and I finally decided to submit my claim. I want to do it now. I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do an FDC, fully developed claim. Let's submit it and let's see what the VA says. Okay. If the holder of the evidence declines to give it to the VA, asks for a fee to provide it, or otherwise cannot get the evidence, the VA will notify you and provide you with an opportunity to submit the information or evidence. It is your responsibility to make sure we receive all requested records that are not in the possession of a federal department or agency. Here again, and I know some people disagree with this. I don't know why, but it is your responsibility. Filing this claim, obtaining those records, fetching evidence is your responsibility primarily. The VA doesn't have a duty to notify, the VA has a duty to assist, but it is definitely, particularly when we're talking about private records, but I would even, guaranteed wage, um, also federal records as well. It's your responsibility. If your claim involves a disability you had before entering service that was made worse by service, please provide any information or evidence in your possession regarding the health condition that existed before your entry into service. Now, that's the same as on the FDC side. All right, so listen, that's we're knocking on we're knocking on wood. That's gonna be on the test. That's gonna be a test. You know what the test is? The test is you submitting your claim properly. That's what the test is. All right. FDC program, again, it's an optional expedited process, standard claim process. So this is just a snapshot. This is also on the form. It tells you what the VA will do in those processes. They'll retrieve relevant records from a federal facility, VA Med Center. They'll provide medical examination for you or get a medical opinion if we determine it is necessary to decide your claim. 2 bullets on the FDC side. On the standard claim side, they'll retrieve, they'll do the same thing. First bullet's the same. Second bullet's the same. Third bullet, remember, they'll make every reasonable effort to obtain relevant records not held by the facility that you adequately identify and authorize. These may include records from state, local governments, and privately held evidence and information you tell us about, such as private doctor or hospital records from current or former employees. Keyword in that standard claims process, we will make every reasonable effort to obtain it. So what they're saying is if you trust us to do the standard claim process, understand, number one, it's going to take longer because we have more work to do. We've got to collect more documentation from more people. So it's going to take longer. So if you feel like you can get that stuff on your own quicker, then go for it. And then submit a fully developed claim when you collect all of it. Okay, simple as that. All right. Again, still continue to quick look. Now, listen, at the top of the form, this is the application for disability compensation and related compensation benefits. All right, again, it's got instructions at the top. Like I said in my last video, most of these forms, all of these forms, have a ton of really good information and instruction. And the VA is educating the veteran about what they need to do. They're giving you the cheat sheet and code on the form. Now, a lot of people ain't going to tell you this because, they just kind of want you to pay money. But I'll tell you. I will tell you. I will give you all the game, as they say, so that you can be well informed when you file your claim. Or even if you decide to go with a VA claim company, you can still be well informed enough to make sure that they are doing what's in your best interests. You'll see at the top, it says select the type of claim program process that applies to you. Note, your claim will be processed as described on pages 1 through 8 unless one of the following special programs is selected. See instruction pages 1 through 3 for definitions of the fully developed claim program or the standard claim process. And so I put a little arrow there. It's just a checkbox. You're going to check the box for FDC program and you're going to follow accordingly. Here's some common pitfalls that people run into when submitting a fully developed claim. They use outdated forms. So make sure that the 526EZ form that you're using or any other form that you're using to submit your claim is the most current form. What do I say on this channel all the time? Make sure everything is current, accurate, and complete. Current, accurate, and complete. I'm not saying I'm the only one who says that. I'm saying I say it. I'm saying that I'm going to beat that drum. Current, accurate, and complete. I think I'm probably the only VA claims content creator who says that. I'm not trying to coin the phrase or nothing like that. I'm just, because I mean, it's not really mine. It's something I got from another profession that I did, but it checks here. Current, accurate, complete. Okay. So make sure your forms that you're using are current. Submitting incomplete, unsigned. Oh my God, where was it? Complete. It's got to be complete. Not providing all evidence up front. Oh my God, you could just literally take this and say CAC. C, the C is, the first C is current. It's not outdated. The A is um, not providing all evidence up front. It's not accurate. The other C is submitting incomplete, unsigned forms. That's the C. Current, accurate, complete. Listen, I don't just talk for fun. These are actually facts that you need to know to submit your claim properly. So watch out for those common pitfalls. Here's some key takeaways. The FDC, the fully developed claim program, is a faster, simpler VA claims process. Always use the correct, easy form version. Provide all the evidence with your application. Okay? If you do that, you'll do just fine. Consider FDC if you've got everything and you're ready to go. Please consider FDC. I think it'll be a good program for you and for your family. All right? It's designed to help veterans, survivors, and dependents receive a faster VA decision by submitting all the evidence up front. Unlike the standard VA programs, VA claim process, which often requires back and forth. You got to talk to the VA back and forth, request for information. They send you correspondence. You send it back to them. It delays the process of getting your claim. The FDC program streamlines everything using VA's required easy form. So that easy form can be used for FDC and it can be used for the standard claim process. You just have to identify which one you're using on the top of the form, like I showed you in the video earlier, on an earlier slide. Okay, you can do it for survivor benefits. You can do it for burial benefits. And filing under the FDC program can save time and reduce delays. You don't want your claim to be delayed for any reason. So if you're prepared with all your medical records and you got everything and you're sure and you're confident that you have the evidence to win your claim, go ahead and file an FDC. It won't hurt anything. Um, get your supporting documentation, be ready to go and file it. So deciding between these two things really depends on your situation. It depends on what you have going on and how accurate these things are. Okay. But no matter which route you choose, understanding this process, the required forms, the regular documentation, any pitfalls that you can run into will help you file the strongest claim possible. Okay. Take the time to learn these differences. Right. Take the time to read the form, guys. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's a lot of work, but it's not hard. It's time consuming, right? Because it's kind of like learning a new language, right? It's learning a new skill. It really is a skill. It sometimes can feel like a whole an additional job, filing your VA claim. So I get it and I understand. But take the time. It's worth you taking the time to do this because what we believe on this channel is that the VA claim is but the first sort of level of unlocking your VA benefits because we want to be whole, healthy, and well into our later years for our families, as healthy as we can be. We know that a lot of us have been experienced trauma. A lot of us have experienced physical ailments and deterioration, emotional stress while we were in the military. So important that we get that treated and try to live the very best life we can live post-military. So now you know the ins and outs of the fully developed claim program, how it works, the required forms, the pros and cons of filling an FDC versus standard claim. If you got everything ready to go, file an FDC. I think it will benefit you. If this video benefited you in any way, if you found it helpful, guys, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it very much. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to give you everything you need to file proper and adequate claims that are current, accurate, and complete. I'm going to keep saying that. So like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the new videos that are coming out. I've got a slew of videos coming out. Lots of things are hot off the presses, and it's really instructional based, just to let you sit down with a pen and paper or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, or however you relax, right? And read over the material and have a video accompanying you to go over the forms, right? Because I'm going to be covering everything, right? I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to make content for the veterans and the families that I love and that I cherish and I'm passionate about. So, all right, guys, keep reclaiming your purpose. Keep living royally. Keep living well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.